Welcome to the Commvault channel. In this video we will discuss Commvault tape library properties and all available options. Please like, share, comment or suggest. Subscribe for more videos, and you can follow us on Instagram. In one of our previous video, we discussed how connection between a tape library and media agent is made. And in the other video, we discussed how to configure a tape library in Commvault. In this video, we will quickly recap how to configure IBM tape library with 4 LTO4 tape drives. Open Device Manager. Under Tape Drives, we see the zoned 4 LTO4 tape drives visible. Ensure to have IBM tape drivers installed for them. You can check IBM website for compatible tape drivers for the IBM tape drive model you have in your environment. Expand medium changer devices to see the medium changer listed. For physical tape libraries, it is always recommended to keep it as unknown medium changer. Do not install drivers for this unless recommended by the vendor. Let's configure this IBM tape library in Commvault. Log into Commvault console. From the Home menu, select Control Panel. From under Storage, select Expert Storage Configuration. From Select Media Agents window, select the media agent to which the tape library is connected. These are the libraries that are already connected to the media agent. Click Start, select Detect, Configure Devices. Detect Library window. We leave Default selected, and click OK. Detection for SCSI devices in progress. Detection completed. On the Information pop-up window, click OK. Log window. This window is important for troubleshooting purposes. Detection completed successfully, and it has found 2 tape libraries, with a sum of 8 tape drives. 4 tape drives are from the new tape library that we are about to configure, and the other 4 tape drives might be from the other tape library. These 4 IBM Ultrium TD4 from the list are the IBM tape drives we are about to configure, and these are their serial numbers. This is the firmware version installed on the tape drives. These are the SCSI address assigned to these tape drives by the operating system for access. This is the tape symbolic name and the device order. Please note, the device order seen here might not be the same on the operating system. We will discuss more in our other video, when we discuss drive pool. This is the medium changer, and summary of tape drives connected. Tape library model. Tape library serial number. SCSI address assigned to medium changer. And library firmware version. Let's configure the tape library. Here you see the medium changer, aka library controller. Its status showing detected, but not configured, for this media agent. This is the tape drive, and even this has status showing detected, but not configured, for this media agent. The rest of the tape drives have the same status. In case if this is a shared library, which we cover in another video, then you need to pay close attention to these details, so you do not mess with settings while configure. We have already discussed in our other video, different methods to configure the tape library, master pool, and tape drives. So, for this video, we will not discuss them in detail, but will use those methods and proceed with the configuration. Tape library is configured successfully. Let's exit this window. Let's check our newly configured tape library. Expand storage resources. Libraries. This is our new IBM tape library. The master pool with 4 LTO4 tape drives. These are the LTO4 media in the library. Media by groups. We will discuss each of these in detail along with available options, do's and don'ts, etc. Right-click on the tape library, and these are the available options for use. We will create a separate video, discussing each option in detail. For this video, we cover only the tape library properties, so select Properties. Library Properties window. General tab. Library name. It is the alias provided for the library. The alias can be changed at any time, without affecting the library functionality. Hardware info provides the library details. Manufacturer is the library vendor. Do note, in case of a standalone drive, the manufacturer is displayed as stand-aln. Model is the library model. Firmware version is the software version used by the library. Barcode reader indicates whether the library has a barcode reader or not. If no barcode reader, means a blind library. Serial number is the serial number of the library. Product info. Installed on. It is the date and time at which the library was configured. Default scratch pool specifies the name of the scratch pool used by the library as default. We can change the scratch pool if needed by selecting one from the list. We will discuss creating additional scratch pools in another video. A scratch pool is a repository of media that are available for use. When the library is configured, the default scratch pool is automatically created. Timeouts, in minutes. This parameter determines how long a job waits for a mount or unmount status response after an operation is requested. If the job does not receive a success or failure status within the timeout period, the job is terminated and a failure message is displayed. Mount. Define the number of minutes within which media must be moved to a drive and prepared for read-write operations. Default value is 30 minutes. Unmount. Define the number of minutes within which media must be returned from a drive to a storage slot. Default value is 30 minutes. Hide library. If selected, the library will not be visible in the Commvault console. To make it visible, you need to enable Show Hidden Libraries option, available in Service Configuration tab of Media Management Configuration, in Control Panel. Use description field to enter ticket numbers, or cautionary notes, etc. Status tab. Status displays the status of the library, if it's ready or offline. Enable library. By default this option is enabled, means the library is online and available for use. Clear this option to take the library offline, example, for repairs. When a library is offline, the drives and media that it contains are inaccessible to the media agent. Please note, the library's status reflects its logical availability to the media agent, and not its physical availability. For example, a library can be enabled, even if it is physically unavailable due to hardware failure. Mark library offline for maintenance. Select this option to make the library unavailable for backup, recovery, or auxiliary copy operations. However, the library will be available to perform other administrative tasks, such as full scan, drive cleaning, etc. or maintenance-related tasks on the library, such as replacing a drive, etc. Offline reason. When the status of the library is displayed as offline, this section displays the offline reason. Characteristics provide the information about the library. Number of drives displays the number of media drives within the library. Total number of slots displays the total number of media storage locations within the library. Total number of media displays the number of media within the library. Number of empty slots displays the number of empty storage locations within the library. In these empty slots, you can add more tape media in the library. Number of mail slots displays the number of mail slots available in the library. These are also called IE slots. Via these slots you import, export tape media, also called tape cartridges. Errors displays the count of library errors. Number of connectivity, status check errors, displays the total number of connectivity and status-related errors encountered in the library, since it was marked as fixed. Number of mount, unmount errors, displays the total number of mount and unmount errors encountered in the library since it was marked as fixed. Please note, when these values exceeds the thresholds, the library is automatically marked as offline or broken from backup, restore activities. You need to mark the library as fixed to reset the counters to 0 and get the library back online for use. Last service time displays the service time set by the user using the Media Management tool after performing any services on the library. Associations tab. You can identify the storage policies and the storage policy copies accessing the library. Security tab. This window helps to identify the users, user groups, and roles associated with this tape library. You can add, edit, or remove security associations for the tape library. Include inherited associations. Helps lists all of the inherited security associations that affect the tape library. Library Controller tab. From here we can view the details of active and failover library controllers, and manually change the active library controller if needed. Active library controller information is seen here. On Media Agent, displays the name of the media agent, which is currently controlling the library management service for the library, in other words, library robotics, or medium changer. Click Detail to view the status and other details of the active library controller. Library Controller Details window. General tab. Name is the name of the library controller. We discussed about this in our other video. Host name is the name of the media agent hosting the library controller. Active indicates whether the library controller is currently controlling the library. Enabled indicates whether the library controller is enabled as a failover candidate. Soft state indicates whether the library device connection to the media agent is ready. SCSI ID. It is the complete SCSI address of the media changer, including SCSI port, target, and logical unit number. This is very useful while troubleshooting particular tape drive issues. Reset controller is used to stop and restart the selected library controller. This is very much useful when you see the library is offline, even after resetting the library. Resetting the controller will help to refresh, restart the library controller. Use this for all the failover library controllers as well. When the library is shared between different media agents, you can see the list of failover library controllers here. This information is displayed for each of the available failover library controllers. The name of the failover library controller. The name of the media agent controlling the library management service for the library. Enabled means the failover library controller will automatically be promoted as the active library controller when a failure occurs in the currently active library controller. Soft state, whether the library device connection to the media agent is ready. SCSI ID displays the complete SCSI address of the media changer, including SCSI port, target, and logical unit number. Detail provides the status and other details associated with the selected failover library controller, like the one we just discussed. When you have more than one library controller, click Change to manually change the active library controller. Media tab. Mark media appendable. When enabled, the requested media will be marked as appendable when it is not available in the library, and a new media will be used by the job. When this option is disabled, the requested media will be marked as full when it is not available in the library, and a new media will be used by the job. Ensure this option is never disabled. Use appendable media within n days of its last write time. When selected, if an active media is not available in the library, media marked appendable, and with the last written data, not older than the specified number of days, in this case 14 days, will be reused. Once an appendable media is reused, it will be marked as active. If this option is not selected, or disabled, media marked as appendable will not be reused. One point to note here is, media marked as appendable can be reused only by the storage policy copy, and the same stream in the storage policy copy that was previously used to write to the media. We will discuss about the stream numbers in a separate video, but the stream number can be found on the tape media. Start new media. When required media is exported, it is default selected, means the active media is marked as appendable if it is exported, and a new media is used for the job. If this option is cleared, the job goes into waiting until the active media is imported back into the library, or the job is killed by the user. When required media is stuck in drive, is also selected by default, means the stuck media is marked as appendable, and a new media is used for the job. When cleared, the job goes into waiting until the media is manually unloaded from the drive, or the job is killed by the user. Virtual mail slot for export. When selected, media exported by a tracking policy, which has the option, use virtual mail slots for export in source libraries option selected, is stored in a range of contiguous slots in the library. The range of contiguous slots are defined using the start from option. When this option is not selected, media exported by a tracking policy. Exported using the library's mail slot, if a mail slot is available. Stored in the appropriate slots, if a mail slot is not available in the library. Use media in virtual mail slot for data protection. When selected, media currently in the virtual mail slot will be used for data protection operations. Starts from the starting slot number and the direction for the virtual mail slot. When assigned media reappears in library. When a tape media is recalled or re-imported back to a library, these options are useful to globally reset the container and or reset the export location associations for the media. Reset container. When selected, the container associated with the media is automatically reset when the media is imported or put back in the library. Reset export location. When selected, the export location associated with the media is automatically reset when the media is imported or put back in the library. Drive tab. Drive attributes. Mark library, drive broken, when error thresholds exceeded. When selected, the library or drives will be marked as broken when its accumulated software and hardware error number exceeds the corresponding threshold values configured in the hardware maintenance thresholds in the control panel. We will discuss control panel in a separate video. Verify access path using serial number for drive. The option is selected by default. The drive serial number and access path is verified before reading or writing to the media. It is strongly recommended that this option be enabled at all times to prevent the overwriting of data when the drive access path is changed due to hardware configuration changes. Check for cleaning media loaded in drive. This option is selected by default. The media is checked to see if it is a cleaning media before performing any other operation on the media. It is strongly recommended that this option be enabled at all times. In most libraries, unselecting this option may result in SCSI failures, which requires manual intervention to unload the media from the drive. Check for tape alerts is also selected by default. Error messages reported by the drive is recorded in the log files. Set drive as needs cleaning, on cyclic redundancy check, CRC, errors. When selected, the drive is marked for cleaning when CRC errors are encountered. Skip unload drive for autoloaders before unmounting media. When selected, indicates that the media agent must skip the unload operation before unmounting the media from the drive. This can be enabled for libraries with autoloaders that automatically perform the unmount operation while unloading media. Typically, you can enable this option on libraries where unmount operations constantly fail with the error, operation failed as the source is empty. Detect and update media type when media is loaded into the drive. When selected, the media agent automatically detects the correct media type when the media is used the first time. For example, if you import mixed media in bulk, and discover them as a specific media. Enable auto drive replacement, when new device is detected during mount. When selected, the media agent automatically detects new drives that were replaced, if drive serialization is supported in the library. It is strongly recommended that this option be enabled, before replacing drives in libraries that support drive serialization, as it provides a one-touch solution for replacing drives. In some cases, the system may not automatically detect the new drives. In such situations, you need to follow the alternate procedures to automatically detect replaced drives. SCSI reservation. Use SCSI reserve for drive operations. This option is selected by default. It indicates that the media agent must use the drive exclusively, during data protection and other operations, using SCSI reservation. This option is useful in the SAN environment where the tape library is shared, and multiple computers may try to access the same drive, resulting in data corruption. Before enabling this option, verify and ensure that the hardware, that is, drives, SAN switches, etc., supports SCSI operation. If this option is enabled, and the hardware does not support SCSI operation, subsequent backup jobs may fail. Use SCSI 3 reserve for content resolution. Choose this option to enable persistent SCSI 3 reservation, to exclusively access the drive during read-write operations. Before use, ensure the hardware supports SCSI 3 reservation, or else, the SCSI reservation gets stuck, so as the tape. Use SCSI 2 reserve for content resolution. This option is selected by default, as most of the hardware supports SCSI 2 reservation. This option enables SCSI 2 reservation, to exclusively access the drive during read-write operations. Enable auto cleaning is for auto-loader libraries, and are not available for standalone drives. On sense code, when selected, the cleaning tape is automatically mounted, and a drive cleaning operation is performed, whenever the hardware indicates that a drive requires cleaning. This option is not selected by default, which means, the drive does not get automatically cleaned, when the hardware indicates that a drive requires cleaning. The drive need to manually cleaned, or else, subsequent mount operations in the drive may fail. Cleaning thresholds exceed. When selected, the cleaning tape is automatically mounted, and a drive cleaning operation is performed, when the accumulated software and hardware errors, and the total number of drive usage hours, exceeds the corresponding threshold values, set in the Drive Cleaning tab of Hardware Maintenance Thresholds dialog box, in Control Panel. When this option not selected, the drive does not get automatically cleaned, when the hardware indicates that a drive requires cleaning. As a result, subsequent mount operations in the drive may fail. Wait 10 days after last cleaning. This option is selected by default, means automatic drive cleaning operation will not be performed, for the specified number of days. When cleared, and if the on-sense code, and/or when cleaning thresholds exceed options are enabled, automatic drive cleaning operation will be performed, whenever those conditions require drive cleaning. Continue using drive even if it needs cleaning during restore. When selected, the drive will be used for restore's operations, even if the drive is marked as requires cleaning, either by sense code, or exceeded thresholds. When cleared, the drive will not be used for any operation. Media Usage tab. When to overwrite media. These options are not enabled by default, so double-check twice before enable. When content verification failed. When there is an issue reading, on media label, OML, which was written on the tape, a mount error is displayed. The error might state, failed to mount media due to OML mismatch. There are various reasons for OML errors, and we cannot discuss all here. One of the reasons is, when tape media is being mounted, the barcode on the tape does not match with OML written inside the tape media. One of the reasons for this is, tape device order mismatch at Commvault level, to what's seen on operating system level. We will discuss this in detail in a separate video. When you select this option, you see warning window. Read the warning carefully, as it says the media is overwritten when an error is encountered while reading the OML. If the option is enabled, and if a wrong media is mounted, example, due to barcode switching, then there is a possibility of overwriting a valid media. When it is from different COM cell, this option is not selected by default, which means media from other COM cells are marked as bad, indicating that the media is from a different COM cell. Select this option if you are sure to overwrite the data by overwriting the OML on media from other COM cells. Prevent use of tapes from a different backup vendor. This option is disabled by default. It indicates whether Commvault will automatically prevent the usage of media associated with other backup vendors. As each backup vendor has a unique method of writing data on a media, the system can identify media associated with a specific set of backup vendors. Enable this option after thorough review. Do note, this option will be disabled when content verification failed option is selected, and the system will automatically overwrite the media when an error is encountered while reading the OML. Auto discovery of media. Enable auto discover media into default scratch pool. This option is enabled by default, which means new media is automatically discovered and assigned to the default scratch pool whenever new media is found in the library. If this option is cleared, media must be manually discovered. Default media type is the default media type in the library. From the drop-down list, select one for the media types in the library. Do note that the media available in a library must be compatible with the drives attached to the library. For tape media stuck in drive, enable auto recovery. This option is enabled by default, so the media agent attempts to recover media that may be stuck in a drive. By default, the media agent tries to recover the media from the drive every 20 minutes. This value can be modified by using an auto-stuck tape recovery interval minutes, additional setting. Attempt to remove media from the drive when unload fails. When selected, the media agent will use the move command to unmount media when the unload command in a drive fails. You may want to enable this option if your library supports options to unload drive as a part of the move command. If this option is not selected, the drive status is displayed as offline when a job encounters a stuck media or is unable to unmount the media from the drive. In such a situation, you must manually recover the media from the drive and then mark the drive online. Unmount media from the drive after n minutes, hours of inactivity. 20 minutes is the default value, indicates the amount of time after which idle media in the drive will be automatically unmounted, after data protection, data recovery and auxiliary copy operations. Advanced tab. Attributes. Automatically add data paths for new drive pools configured. When selected, the system automatically adds the alternate data paths for a shared library. Verify and ensure that automatically add new data path option is enabled in the Data Paths tab for this option to work. Automatically update barcodes on firmware change indicates whether media agent should automatically update the media barcodes after a firmware change in the library. Retry read operations on scarce errors indicates whether the media agent will reposition the tape and retry the read operation on scarce errors to prevent the failure of the job, where, and times, with a retry interval on n minutes. Specify how many times and how often the retry must be attempted. Submit full scan on library when finding an empty barcode during drive unmount. Specifies whether a full scan of the library will be performed when an empty barcode is found while unmounting the drive. This is a troubleshooting option, which can be enabled in a library if you constantly find that the system indicates that the media is exported when requested by a job, but physically found in the library. Configuration parameters for the library, and any change to the configuration parameters will take effect only when the library is reset. Prevent physical inventory of the library. When enabled, the media agent will initiate a full scan of the library when there is a unit attention. That is, when the door is accessed, the mail slot is accessed, the library controller is reset, etc. In some older libraries, the firmware itself automatically initiates an inventory when there is a unit attention. In such situations, you can enable this option to avoid a double scan on the library. Do periodic mail slot check for any change in status. If enabled, the media agent will poll the library to see if there is any change in the status of the mail slot. Enable this option in libraries that do not automatically generate unit attention when there is a change in the mail slot. For example, when media is imported or exported, and the mail slot is accessed to add or remove the media, the system will never know the status of the operation, unless this option is enabled. You can also specify how often the library must be polled, by setting the library status check interval. Prevent auto-import of media from mail slot, indicates that the media agent will not automatically import the media from the mail slot. Allow medium removal from mail slot, specifies that the library handler will issue a SCSI command during startup to unlock the library mail slot. Enable this option when other software may lock the library mail slot, and you would like the mail slot to be opened. Do not import media from IE port back to the slots, indicates whether the media from a library with IE port will be imported back to the library after a reset operation. Enable this option to prevent exported media to be re-imported back to the library. Library status check interval specifies how often the media agent polls the library to see if there is a change in the status in the mail slot when the do periodic mail slot check for any change in status option is enabled. Order tab. This tab helps to create notes. For example, you can keep notes about library maintenance or hardware installations. Ordered history lists all of the notes previously entered about the tape library, including the user who entered the note, the severity, and the date that the note was entered. Use the New Audit button to open the New Audit dialog box. We will end this video here. Do subscribe to our channel for more videos, if not already done so. Do subscribe for more videos.